as the night gently falls and the stars begin to twinkle in the dark sky, I invite you to settle in, relax, and let your imagination drift into the magical world of Eldoria. Tonight, we embark on a journey through ancient forests, enchanted gardens, and forgotten ruins. With every soft breath, you'll feel yourself floating deeper into this serene adventure, where a brave princess seeks a treasure hidden by time and guarded by ancient magic. Let your worries fade as you follow her footsteps through the whispering woods, and allow the soothing rhythm of the story to guide you into a peaceful, restful sleep. Welcome to the Enchanted Gerbera. Chapter 1. The discovery in the heart of Eldoria, where the castle's grand towers pierced the sky and the sunlit meadows stretched far and wide, there existed a hidden sanctuary known only to a few. Princess Isabella, the beloved daughter of King Alaric and Queen Ilara, often sought refuge in the castle's lush gardens, a place of tranquility and wonder. However, there was one part of the garden that had always eluded her, a mysterious, secluded area beyond an old wrought iron gate. Isabella had heard whispers of the ancient garden from her nursemaids and the elderly gardeners. They spoke of its enchantment and beauty, claiming it was a place where magic lingered in every leaf and flower. Intrigued by these tales, Isabella decided that today would be the day she ventured beyond the gate. The gate, covered in ivy and rust, creaked as she pushed it open. The air changed as she stepped inside. It was cooler, filled with the scent of earth and blooming flowers. Sunlight filtered through a canopy of ancient trees, casting dappled shadows on the moss-covered path. Isabella felt as though she had stepped into another world, a place untouched by time. As she wandered deeper into the garden, she marveled at the array of vibrant flowers and the statues of forgotten deities, their stone faces worn smooth by the passage of centuries. Her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and curiosity. What secrets did this garden hold? What stories could it tell? In the very heart of the garden, Isabella's gaze fell upon a flower unlike any she had ever seen. It was a gerbera, but it shimmered with an otherworldly light, its petals shifting colours like the opals in her mother's crown. Drawn to its beauty, she knelt beside it, reaching out to touch the delicate petals. The moment her fingers brushed the flower, a soft, melodic voice filled her mind. "Greetings, Princess Isabella. I am the Enchanted Gerbera, keeper of visions and secrets. You have been chosen to embark on a quest of great importance." Startled, Isabella pulled her hand back, but the flower's glow remained gentle and inviting. Her initial shock gave way to curiosity. "A quest," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the gentle rustling of leaves. "Yes," the gerbera replied, its petals unfurling to reveal a vision. Isabella saw glimpses of her ancestors, their triumphs and trials, the rise and fall of ancient kingdoms. But one vision stood out above the rest, a tattered map leading to a hidden treasure lost to time. "This treasure," the gerbera continued, "holds great power and wisdom. It is your destiny to find it and restore it to Eldoria." Isabella's heart swelled with determination. She had always longed for an adventure, a chance to prove herself. Now, fate had presented her with the perfect opportunity. "I will do it," she said, her voice filled with resolve. "I will find this treasure and bring it back to Eldoria." The gerbera's glow intensified, as if in approval. "Then you must prepare, Princess. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but you will not be alone. Trust in yourself and the guidance I will provide." With that, the vision faded, and Isabella found herself kneeling in the quiet garden once more. The enchanted Gerbera stood as a silent sentinel, its petals glistening in the dappled sunlight. She rose to her feet, her mind racing with thoughts of the journey ahead. Isabella hurried back to the palace, her heart light with excitement. She knew she would need the wisdom and counsel of her most trusted advisor, Sir Cedric. With his guidance and the enchanted Gerbera's visions, she was confident she could succeed in her quest. As she passed through the familiar gardens and into the grand halls of the castle, Isabella felt a sense of purpose she had never known before. Her adventure was just beginning, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The enchanted Gerbera had shown her the way, and she would not fail. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows across Eldoria as Princess Isabella made her way back to the secluded corner of the garden. Her mind buzzed with excitement and anticipation. The vision from the enchanted Gerbera had set her on a path unlike any she had ever imagined. Determined to learn more, she returned to the flower, hoping to glean further guidance. Reflecting the hues of the setting sun, she knelt beside it, her heart pounding with a mix of awe and trepidation. "Enchanted Gerbera," she whispered, her voice reverent. "I have returned to seek your wisdom." The flower's glow intensified, and once again, the melodic voice filled her mind. "Princess Isabella, the journey ahead will test your courage and resolve. The treasure you seek is hidden deep within the realms of Eldoria, guarded by ancient magic and forgotten lore. You must be prepared for the challenges that await you." Isabella nodded, her resolve firm. "I am ready to face whatever lies ahead. Please, show me the way." The Gerbera's petals began to unfold, revealing a series of intricate symbols and images. Isabella watched in rapt attention as the visions played out before her. She saw herself traversing dense forests, crossing treacherous rivers, and deciphering ancient runes. Each scene was filled with both danger and wonder, but the princess felt an unwavering sense of determination. One vision in particular stood out: a map, its parchment worn and edges frayed, marked with symbols and landmarks she did not recognize. The enchanted Gerbera's voice guided her through the map, highlighting key locations and paths she would need to follow. Isabella committed each detail to memory, knowing that this map would be her guide. "The Whispering Woods," the Gerbera intoned, "is where your journey begins. There, you will find the first clue that will lead you to the treasure. The woods are enchanted, filled with creatures both kind and cunning. Trust your instincts and the guidance I provide." Isabella's heart raced with anticipation. She had heard tales of the Whispering Woods, a place of ancient magic and mystery. It was said that the trees themselves could speak, offering wisdom to those who listened. She could hardly wait to set out on her adventure. Before she left the garden, the Gerbera's petals shifted once more, revealing a final vision. Isabella saw herself standing before a stone altar, its surface etched with ancient runes. The altar glowed with a soft, ethereal light, and she knew it held the first clue to the treasure's location. "Remember, princess," the Gerbera's voice echoed in her mind. "You are not alone. The magic of Eldoria flows through you, and the wisdom of your ancestors will guide you. Be brave and trust in the path you walk." With the vision fading, Isabella rose to her feet, her mind and heart filled with purpose. She thanked the enchanted Gerbera, its petals shimmering with approval, and made her way back to the palace. The garden seemed even more magical than before, as if the very air hummed with anticipation. Upon her return, Isabella sought out Sir Cedric, her most trusted advisor and loyal friend. The wise old knight listened intently as she recounted her encounter with the Enchanted Gerbera and the visions it had shown her. His eyes sparkled with a mix of admiration and concern. "Princess Isabella," he said, his voice grave yet kind, "this is a quest of great significance. The path you embark upon will not be easy, but I have faith in your courage and wisdom. I will help you prepare for the journey ahead." Together they gathered the necessary supplies, maps, provisions, and a sturdy cloak to protect her from the elements. Sir Cedric shared stories and legends of the Whispering Woods, offering valuable insights and advice. Isabella listened intently, absorbing every word. As dawn broke the next day, Isabella stood at the edge of the palace grounds, ready to embark on her quest. With the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance and Sir Cedric's wisdom, she felt confident and determined. The Whispering Woods awaited her, and with it, the first clue to the hidden treasure. As she stepped onto the path that would lead her into the heart of Eldoria, Isabella felt a surge of excitement and resolve. This was her destiny, a chance to prove herself and bring glory to her kingdom. The Enchanted Gerbera had set her on this path, and she would follow it to the end. Isabella's steps were light as she crossed the palace grounds, her mind preoccupied with the Enchanted Gerbera's vision. The Whispering Woods seemed a distant, mystical place, yet the memory of the glowing petals reassured her. She felt a profound connection to the flower, as if its magic pulsed in time with her own heartbeat. As she entered the grand library, a hushed sanctuary of ancient knowledge, Isabella sought out the maps and scrolls that would aid her in her journey. The air was thick with the scent of parchment and ink, and the golden light of the setting sun cast a warm glow over the rows of books. "Princess Isabella," a familiar voice called softly. It was Sir Cedric, his wise eyes watching her with a blend of concern and admiration. "You seem deep in thought. What troubles you?" Isabella turned to him, her face bright with determination. "Sir Cedric, I've seen visions in the petals of the Enchanted Gerbera. It showed me a map and the first clue hidden within the Whispering Woods. I must decipher these visions to find the lost treasure." Sir Cedric nodded, his expression serious. "Very well, Princess. Let us study the maps and ancient texts. Together we will ensure you are prepared for whatever lies ahead." They pored over the kingdom's maps, searching for any reference to the Whispering Woods and its secrets. Isabella traced her fingers over the worn parchment, memorizing the landmarks and pathways that the Enchanted Gerbera had revealed. The symbols on the map seemed to glow under her touch, resonating with the magic she had felt in the garden. As the night deepened, the flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on the walls. Isabella felt a sense of urgency and excitement. She had always known there was more to her destiny than the confines of the palace. Now, with the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance, she was ready to embrace her calling. "Sir Cedric," Isabella said, breaking the silence, "the Enchanted Gerbera showed me a stone altar in the Whispering Woods, covered in ancient runes. I believe it holds the first clue to the treasure's location. We must find it." The old knight smiled, his eyes twinkling with pride. "You have the heart of a true adventurer, Princess. Trust in the visions and your instincts. The Enchanted Gerbera chose you for a reason." With the preparations complete, Isabella retired to her chambers, her mind abuzz with thoughts of the journey ahead. The moonlight streamed through her window, casting a silvery glow over her bed. She lay down, clutching the parchment map to her chest, and drifted into a restless sleep filled with dreams of ancient forests and glowing flowers. At dawn, Isabella rose with a renewed sense of purpose. She donned her travelling cloak and strapped a small satchel filled with provisions and the essential map across her shoulder. As she left her chambers, she found Sir Cedric waiting for her at the palace gates, his steely resolve mirroring her own. "May the spirits of Eldoria guide you, Princess," he said, his voice filled with a mix of pride and worry. "Remember, the Enchanted Gerbera's magic is with you. Trust in its visions and your own courage." Isabella nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you, Sir Cedric. I will return with the treasure and bring glory to our kingdom." With those final words, Isabella set off towards the Whispering Woods, the Enchanted Gerbera's glow guiding her steps. The path ahead was unknown, filled with both promise and peril, but she felt a deep sense of certainty. She was on the right path, and nothing could deter her from her quest. As she approached the edge of the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to whisper a welcome, their ancient branches swaying gently in the breeze. The forest was alive with magic, its air thick with the scent of pine and earth. Isabella took a deep breath, feeling the enchantment of the woods settle over her like a comforting cloak. With the Enchanted Gerbera's vision clear in her mind, she stepped into the forest, ready to uncover the first clue hidden within the stone altar. Her journey had begun, and with each step, she felt the magic of Eldoria guiding her forward, deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods. Isabella stepped into the Whispering Woods, feeling a palpable shift in the air. The forest seemed to breathe around her, its leaves rustling in a language only it understood. The path was narrow and winding, flanked by ancient trees whose roots twisted and turned like the fingers of sleeping giants. A soft, ethereal light filtered through the canopy, casting a verdant glow on the forest floor. With the Enchanted Gerbera's vision clear in her mind, Isabella pressed forward. Her heart pounded with excitement and a touch of trepidation. She knew that the woods held secrets and challenges, but she also felt a profound sense of purpose. This was her quest, her chance to prove herself and uncover the hidden treasure. As she walked, Isabella noticed that the forest was not silent. The trees seemed to whisper to one another, their leaves rustling in a gentle symphony. Birds with iridescent feathers flitted through the branches, their songs weaving a melody that resonated with the ancient magic of the woods. She felt as if she were part of a grand, timeless story, one that had been unfolding long before her birth and would continue long after. After several hours of walking, Isabella came across a small clearing. In the center stood a majestic oak, its trunk gnarled and twisted with age. She sensed that this tree was special, its roots deep in the earth and its branches reaching for the heavens. As she approached, she saw an inscription carved into the bark. It was written in the ancient runes she had seen in the Enchanted Gerbera's vision. "The first clue," she whispered to herself, tracing the symbols with her fingers. The runes glowed faintly under her touch, and she felt a warm energy pulse through her. The inscription spoke of a stone altar hidden deeper within the forest, a place where the past and future converged. It was here that she would find the first piece of the puzzle. Isabella took out her map, noting the location of the oak and the direction indicated by the runes. With renewed determination, she set off once more, her path illuminated by the Enchanted Gerbera's soft glow. The forest seemed to guide her steps, its ancient magic a comforting presence. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows through the trees, Isabella reached the stone altar. It stood in a secluded glen, surrounded by a circle of ancient oaks. The altar was covered in moss and vines, its surface etched with more of the ancient runes. She could feel the power emanating from the stone, a tangible link to the past. Kneeling before the altar, Isabella placed her hands on the cool stone. The runes began to glow, their light growing brighter until it filled the entire glen. A soft voice echoed in her mind, guiding her through the symbols and their meanings. The first clue was revealed. A fragment of the ancient map showing the next location she needed to find. With the clue safely tucked away, Isabella rose to her feet, her heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. She had taken the first step on her journey, and the path ahead was becoming clearer. The Enchanted Gerbera had been right. This quest was her destiny, and she was determined to see it through. As she made her way back to the forest path, the light of the full moon bathed the woods in a silvery glow. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, their calls echoing through the trees. Isabella felt a deep connection to the land and its magic, a bond that would guide her on the next leg of her journey. With the first clue in hand and the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance, Isabella continued her quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The hidden treasure awaited, and she would not rest until it was found. As the whispering woods whispered their ancient secrets, she walked forward with confidence and resolve, knowing that her adventure had only just begun. Isabella awoke to the soft light of dawn filtering through the dense canopy of the whispering woods. The air was fresh and crisp, filled with the scent of pine and the chirping of morning birds. She stretched, feeling the cool earth beneath her, and reviewed the map she had inscribed with the ancient runes from the stone altar. Her journey had just begun, and the Enchanted Gerbera's vision still guided her every step. With the first clue secure in her satchel, Isabella ventured deeper into the forest. The path was winding and narrow, flanked by ancient trees whose branches seemed to reach out in welcome. Each step she took resonated with the whispers of the forest, a gentle chorus that seemed to guide her onward. As she walked, Isabella encountered various creatures that inhabited the whispering woods. A pair of playful squirrels chattered from the treetops, their bushy tails flicking with curiosity. A majestic deer with a crown of antlers observed her from a distance, its eyes reflecting a wisdom that seemed almost human. She felt a deep sense of connection with these creatures, as if the magic of the woods flowed through them as well. By midday, Isabella reached a stream that wound its way through the forest, its waters sparkling in the dappled sunlight. She knelt by the stream to drink, the cool water refreshing her weary body. As she rested, she noticed a peculiar sight on the opposite bank, a cluster of flowers that seemed to shimmer with the same ethereal light as the Enchanted Gerbera. Intrigued, Isabella crossed the stream, her boots making gentle splashes. The flowers were indeed magical, their petals shifting colours in a mesmerising dance. As she reached out to touch one, a soft voice filled her mind. "Welcome, Princess Isabella. We have been expecting you." Startled but unafraid, Isabella asked, "Who are you?" "We are the guardians of the Whispering Woods," the voice replied, a harmonious blend of many tones. "Our purpose is to guide those who seek the ancient treasures of Eldoria." Isabella's heart swelled with hope. "Can you help me find the next clue? The Enchanted Gerbera has shown me visions, but I need guidance." The flowers glowed brighter, their light casting a warm glow over the forest floor. The next clue lies within the heart of the woods, where the oldest tree stands. Its roots run deep, entwined with the magic of Eldoria. Follow the path of the moonlight, and you will find your way. Isabella thanked the flowers, their luminescence fading as they resumed their silent vigil. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, the forest's magic infusing her with strength. As the day wore on, she continued her journey, ever watchful for signs of the moonlight path. As dusk approached, the forest began to change. The vibrant greens and golds of day gave way to the deep blues and purples of twilight. The trees seemed to hum with anticipation, their leaves rustling in a rhythm that echoed through the woods. Isabella knew that the moonlight path would soon reveal itself. With the first stars twinkling overhead, Isabella spotted a narrow trail bathed in silver light. The moon had risen, casting its glow through a break in the canopy and illuminating the path ahead. She followed the trail, her steps guided by the ethereal light that seemed to beckon her forward. The moonlight path led her to a vast clearing, at the center of which stood an enormous tree. Its trunk was as wide as a house, its branches spreading out like a protective canopy. The bark was gnarled and ancient, etched with symbols that glowed faintly in the moonlight. Isabella knew that this was the tree the guardians had spoken of. Approaching the tree with reverence, Isabella placed her hand on the bark. The symbols began to pulse with light, and she felt a surge of energy course through her. The tree seemed to come alive, its branches swaying gently as if in acknowledgement of her presence. At the base of the tree, nestled among the roots, was a small stone tablet. Isabella carefully extracted it, the ancient runes on its surface matching those she had seen before. The second clue was now in her hands, a piece of the puzzle that would lead her to the hidden treasure. With the moon casting its gentle light over the clearing, Isabella felt a deep sense of accomplishment. She had navigated the whispering woods and uncovered the second clue. Her quest was far from over, but she knew that she was on the right path. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had guided her true, and she felt more determined than ever to see her journey through to the end. With the second clue secured, Isabella's confidence grew. She felt the ancient magic of the whispering woods surging within her, a powerful force guiding her steps. The moon continued to cast its silver glow over the forest, and the path ahead seemed clearer than ever before. As she left the clearing of the ancient tree, Isabella retraced her steps, following the moonlit path back to the stream. She felt a sense of urgency now, a drive to unravel the secrets that lay ahead. The Enchanted Gerbera had shown her the way, and she was determined to uncover every clue, piece by piece. The whispers of the forest accompanied her, a gentle symphony of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. The air was filled with the scent of earth and blooming flowers, a reminder of the magic that permeated every corner of Eldoria. Isabella felt a deep connection to this land, a bond that strengthened with each step she took. As she approached the stream, she noticed something unusual. A faint light flickered on the water's surface, casting rippling reflections on the surrounding trees. Intrigued, she knelt by the stream, peering into its depths. The light seemed to emanate from a submerged object, its glow growing brighter as she reached for it. Isabella plunged her hand into the cool water, her fingers closing around a smooth, round stone. As she lifted it from the stream, the light intensified, revealing intricate runes etched into its surface. The The stone pulsed with a gentle warmth, a tangible manifestation of the ancient magic that guided her quest. "The first clue," Isabella whispered, marveling at the stone's beauty. She carefully dried it with her cloak and held it up to the moonlight. The runes glowed with an ethereal light, casting patterns on her palm. She felt a surge of energy, a connection to the Enchanted Gerbera and the visions it had shown her. Isabella knew she had to decipher the runes to uncover the next part of the map. She found a comfortable spot by the stream and focused on the stone, allowing the ancient magic to guide her thoughts. The runes seemed to shift and change under her gaze, forming symbols and patterns that she recognized from the Enchanted Gerbera's vision. As she concentrated, the runes revealed their meaning. The stone contained a message, a fragment of the ancient map that would lead her to the hidden treasure. Isabella traced the symbols on a piece of parchment, meticulously documenting every detail. The map was becoming clearer, each clue bringing her closer to her goal. The message on the stone spoke of a hidden path, a secret trail that wound through the heart of the Whispering Woods. It led to a place where the boundaries between worlds blurred, a realm of enchantment and mystery. Isabella felt a thrill of anticipation. The next part of her journey was about to begin. With the stone securely in her satchel, Isabella rose to her feet, her determination renewed. She followed the directions revealed by the runes, her steps guided by the ancient magic that flowed through the forest. The path was narrow and winding, flanked by towering trees that seemed to watch over her. As she ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with enchantment. The trees whispered secrets in a language she could almost understand, their branches swaying in a gentle dance. Isabella felt the presence of unseen guardians, their protective magic guiding her steps. After several hours of walking, Isabella arrived at a secluded glen, hidden deep within the heart of the Whispering Woods. The glen was bathed in a soft golden light, its beauty almost otherworldly. In the center stood a stone archway, covered in ancient runes and glowing with a gentle luminescence. Isabella approached the archway, her heart pounding with anticipation. The runes on the stone arch matched those on the Enchanted Gerbera and the stone she had found in the stream. She knew that this was the entrance to the hidden path, the next step in her quest for the lost treasure. With a deep breath, Isabella stepped through the archway, the ancient magic enveloping her in a warm embrace. She felt a surge of energy, a sense of purpose that filled her with confidence. The Enchanted Gerbera had guided her true, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The hidden path stretched before her, a winding trail that led into the depths of the Whispering Woods. Isabella felt the ancient magic guiding her steps. The whispers of the forest, a constant companion. With the first clue deciphered and the next part of the map revealed, she continued her journey, determined to uncover the secrets of Eldoria and bring the hidden treasure back to her kingdom. Chapter 2. The Journey. The hidden path stretched before Isabella, winding its way deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods. The air was thick with the scent of moss and wildflowers, and the whispers of the trees seemed to grow louder, guiding her steps. Isabella felt a sense of both wonder and determination as she embarked on this next leg of her journey. The path was narrow and overgrown, flanked by towering trees whose branches formed a natural archway overhead. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. Isabella moved with purpose, her heart pounding with anticipation. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had led her this far, and she trusted that they would continue to guide her. As she walked, Isabella noticed that the forest was alive with magic. Tiny luminescent creatures flitted through the air, leaving trails of light in their wake. Flowers with petals that shimmered like jewels lined the path, their vibrant colours a testament to the enchantment that permeated the woods. Isabella felt a deep connection to this place, as if the very essence of Eldoria was intertwined with her own. Hours passed, and the path began to ascend, leading Isabella to a high ridge overlooking the forest. She paused to catch her breath, taking in the breathtaking view. The whispering woods stretched out before her, a sea of green and gold that seemed to go on forever. In the distance, she could see the faint outline of a mountain range, its peaks shrouded in mist. The hidden path continued along the ridge, its direction clear. Isabella followed it with renewed determination, her steps guided by the ancient magic that flowed through the land. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow over the forest, she reached a clearing where a small, crystal-clear pool lay nestled among the trees. The pool's surface shimmered with an otherworldly light, and Isabella felt drawn to it. She knelt by the water's edge, her reflection staring back at her. The water was cool and inviting, and she cupped her hands to take a drink. As the water touched her lips, she felt a surge of energy, a connection to the magic of the woods. Suddenly, the surface of the pool rippled and an image began to form. Isabella watched in awe as the vision unfolded. A majestic bridge, spanning a deep ravine, its arches adorned with intricate carvings. The vision was clear and vivid, and she knew that this bridge was the next landmark on her journey. With the vision still fresh in her mind, Isabella rose to her feet and continued along the hidden path. The sun had set, and the forest was bathed in the soft light of the rising moon. The path led her through dense thickets and across babbling brooks, the whispers of the trees a constant companion. As she walked, Isabella felt a growing sense of anticipation. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had shown her the way, and she knew that the bridge held the key to the next clue. She pressed on, her steps sure and steady, her heart filled with determination. At last, she emerged from the forest onto a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast chasm. The ravine stretched out before her, its depths shrouded in shadow. And there, spanning the gap, was the bridge from her vision. Its arches rose gracefully into the sky, their intricate carvings glowing faintly in the moonlight. Isabella approached the bridge, her heart pounding with excitement. The structure was ancient, its stones worn smooth by the passage of time. She could feel the magic that infused the bridge, a powerful force that resonated with the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance. As she stepped onto the bridge, Isabella felt a surge of energy, a connection to the ancient magic that flowed through the land. The carvings on the arches seemed to come alive, their patterns shifting and changing under her gaze. She knew that the bridge held the next clue, and she was determined to uncover it. With the moon casting its silvery light over the ravine, Isabella carefully examined the carvings. Each symbol and pattern seemed to tell a story, a fragment of the ancient map that would lead her to the hidden treasure. She traced the lines with her fingers, feeling the magic pulse through her. At the center of the bridge, she found a small hidden compartment. With a sense of anticipation, she opened it, revealing a scroll covered in ancient runes. The second clue was now in her hands, a piece of the puzzle that would guide her to the treasure. Isabella felt a deep sense of accomplishment as she secured the scroll in her satchel. The hidden path had led her true, and she was one step closer to uncovering the secrets of Eldoria. With the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance and the ancient magic of the Whispering Woods, she was ready to continue her journey, determined to see her quest through to the end. The moon hung high in the sky, casting its silvery glow over the ancient bridge and the deep ravine below. Isabella carefully rolled up the scroll and placed it in her satchel, her heart brimming with the excitement of discovery. The Enchanted Gerbera's guidance had brought her this far, and she felt a surge of confidence as she prepared to cross the bridge. As she took her first step onto the bridge, a soft, ethereal light began to emanate from the stone arches. The intricate carvings glowed with an otherworldly luminescence, illuminating the path ahead. Isabella marveled at the beauty and craftsmanship of the bridge, feeling the ancient magic that infused every stone. Midway across the bridge, Isabella felt a sudden chill in the air. She paused, sensing a presence that made her skin tingle. Emerging from the shadows at either end of the bridge were two towering figures, their forms cloaked in shimmering armor. Their eyes glowed with a soft blue light, and they held ornate staffs that seemed to hum with magical energy. "Who dares to cross the bridge of Eldoria?" one of the guardians intoned, his voice resonating like the toll of a great bell. The other guardian remained silent, his gaze fixed on Isabella with an intensity that made her heart race. Isabella took a deep breath, her resolve firm. "I am Princess Isabella of Eldoria. I seek the ancient treasure that will restore prosperity and wisdom to my kingdom." The guardians exchanged a glance, their expressions inscrutable. The first guardian spoke again, his tone both grave and respectful. "To cross this bridge, you must prove your worth. Answer our riddle, and you may pass. Fail, and you shall be turned back." Isabella nodded, her mind racing. She had always been good at riddles, her quick wit and sharp intellect honed by years of study. She listened intently as the guardian recited the riddle, his voice echoing through the night air. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Isabella closed her eyes, allowing the words to sink in. The answer came to her almost immediately. A memory of quiet nights spent reading by the hearth. Her father's voice recounting tales and puzzles. She opened her eyes and met the guardian's gaze with confidence. "An echo," she replied, her voice steady. The guardians nodded in unison, their expressions softening. "You have answered correctly, Princess Isabella. You may pass." With the riddle solved, the guardians stepped aside, their staffs glowing brighter as they created a protective barrier along the edges of the bridge. Isabella walked forward, her heart light with triumph. The guardians watched her with approving eyes, their presence a reminder of the ancient magic that protected the land. As she reached the far end of the bridge, Isabella felt a sense of accomplishment. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had guided her true, and she had proven her worth to the guardians. She looked back at the bridge, its arches gleaming in the moonlight, and felt a deep sense of gratitude for the ancient magic that had brought her this far. Beyond the bridge, the path led into a dense forest, its trees towering high and their branches forming a natural canopy. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, their calls echoing through the night air. Isabella felt a renewed sense of determination as she ventured into the woods, her steps guided by the Enchanted Gerbera's glow. The forest path was narrow and winding, flanked by ancient trees whose roots twisted and turned like the fingers of sleeping giants. The air was filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the soft rustle of leaves whispered secrets in the language of the forest. Isabella moved with purpose, her heart filled with the magic of Eldoria. After several hours of walking, Isabella arrived at a small clearing. In the center stood a stone pedestal, its surface covered in moss and vines. The pedestal glowed with a faint, ethereal light, and she knew that this was the next clue in her journey. With careful hands, Isabella brushed away the moss and vines, revealing a series of runes carved into the stone. She traced the symbols with her fingers, feeling the magic pulse through her. The runes told a story of an enchanted forest and an ancient treasure, hidden deep within its heart. Isabella carefully documented the runes on a piece of parchment, her mind racing with thoughts of the treasure that awaited her. She felt a deep sense of connection to the land and its magic, a bond that strengthened with each step she took. As the first light of dawn began to filter through the trees, Isabella continued her journey, her heart filled with determination and hope. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had guided her true, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The hidden treasure of Eldoria awaited, and she would not rest until it was found. Isabella ventured deeper into the forest, each step guided by the Enchanted Gerbera's soft glow. The forest was different from the whispering woods. It was more alive, pulsating with a vibrant energy. The trees here were ancient, their trunks thick and gnarled, and their leaves formed a dense canopy that only allowed slivers of sunlight to filter through. The air was filled with the sounds of life, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the distant calls of unseen creatures. As she walked, Isabella marveled at the beauty around her. The forest floor was carpeted with a variety of flowers, their petals shimmering with iridescent hues. Butterflies flitted from bloom to bloom, their wings catching the light and casting tiny rainbows. She felt a deep sense of peace, as if the forest itself welcomed her presence. After a time, Isabella came upon a stream, its clear waters bubbling merrily over smooth stones. She knelt to drink, the cool water refreshing her. As she rose, she noticed a peculiar sight on the opposite bank, a circle of mushrooms, their caps glowing faintly in the dim light. She had heard of such circles in the old tales, places where the veil between worlds was thin. Curiosity piqued, Isabella crossed the stream and approached the circle. As she stepped inside, a gentle hum filled the air, and the world seemed to shift around her. The trees blurred, and the colours became more vibrant, more intense. She felt a tingling sensation in her fingertips, and the air was charged with magic. "Welcome, Princess Isabella," a melodic voice called out. Isabella turned to see a figure emerging from the trees. A woman with flowing silver hair and eyes like the night sky. She wore a gown woven from moonlight and starlight, and her presence radiated power and serenity. "Who are you?" Isabella asked, her voice filled with awe. "I am Serene, guardian of the enchanted forest," the woman replied, her voice like a soft breeze. "I have been expecting you." Isabella felt a surge of hope. "Can you help me find the hidden treasure? The Enchanted Gerbera has guided me this far, but I need to know the way." Serene smiled, her eyes twinkling. "You are on the right path, Princess. The treasure you seek lies within the heart of the forest, protected by ancient magic and the wisdom of the ages. But first, you must prove yourself worthy." Isabella nodded, her resolve firm. "What must I do?" Serene extended her hand, and a small, intricately carved box appeared in her palm. "Within this box lies a riddle. Solve it, and the path to the treasure will be revealed." Isabella took the box, her fingers brushing against the cool wood. She opened it, revealing a piece of parchment with a single line of text. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" She pondered the riddle, the answer coming to her swiftly. "A map," she said confidently. Selene's smile widened, and the forest seemed to glow brighter. "Correct, Princess. The path is now open to you." With a wave of her hand, Selene parted the trees, revealing a hidden trail that led deeper into the forest. The air was thick with magic, and the trail seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Isabella felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. "Follow this path," Selene instructed. "It will lead you to the ancient ruins, where the final clue to the treasure awaits. Trust in yourself and the guidance of the Enchanted Gerbera. You are destined to uncover the secrets of Eldoria." Isabella thanked Selene, her heart swelling with gratitude. As she stepped onto the hidden trail, she felt a sense of purpose and determination. The Enchanted Gerbera's glow guided her steps, and she knew that the path ahead, though fraught with challenges, would lead her to the treasure. The trail wound through the forest, its twists and turns revealing hidden wonders. Isabella saw trees with silver leaves that whispered secrets in the wind, and pools of water that reflected visions of the past. She felt the ancient magic of the forest, infusing her with strength and clarity. At last, she arrived at the ancient ruins, their stone walls covered in moss and vines. The air was thick with history, and she could feel the presence of those who had come before her. In the center of the ruins stood a pedestal, and on it rested an ornate key, its surface etched with runes that glowed faintly in the twilight. Isabella approached the pedestal, her heart pounding with anticipation. She reached out and took the key, feeling its weight in her hand. The final clue was now within her grasp, and she knew that the treasure was within reach. With the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance and the wisdom of the enchanted forest, Isabella was ready to face the final leg of her journey. The hidden treasure of Eldoria awaited, and she would not rest until it was found. The ancient magic of the land was with her, and she felt a deep sense of connection to the past and future of her kingdom. The ruins stood before Isabella, a testament to a forgotten era. Their moss-covered stones and crumbling walls hinted at stories long past, whispers of history that had been buried by time. The ornate key she held glowed faintly, its runes pulsing with a rhythm that seemed to sync with her own heartbeat. She felt a connection to this place, as if the very essence of the ruins recognized her presence. Taking a deep breath, Isabella stepped forward, her eyes scanning the ruins for any sign of the final clue. The air was thick with anticipation, and the forest around her seemed to hold its breath. She moved with purpose, her steps echoing through the ancient halls. As she explored, Isabella noticed symbols carved into the stones, symbols that matched those on the key. She followed them, tracing their path through the labyrinthine corridors. The Enchanted Gerbera's glow grew brighter, illuminating her way and filling her with a sense of certainty. After what felt like hours, she arrived at a grand chamber, its ceiling open to the sky. Moonlight streamed in, casting a silvery glow over the room. In the center of the chamber stood a large stone pedestal, its surface intricately carved with runes. Isabella approached it, the key in her hand vibrating with energy. With a deep breath, she placed the key into a matching indentation on the pedestal. The runes began to glow, their light spreading across the surface like water. The air hummed with magic, and the ground beneath her feet trembled. Isabella stepped back, watching in awe as the pedestal shifted and a hidden compartment opened. Inside, nestled among velvet lining, was a small, ancient scroll. Isabella carefully unrolled it, her eyes scanning the delicate parchment. The runes on the scroll matched those she had seen throughout her journey, forming a complete map. It depicted the final location of the hidden treasure, a place deep within the heart of Eldoria. As she studied the map, Isabella felt a sense of triumph. The pieces had come together, and she was closer than ever to uncovering the treasure that would bring prosperity and wisdom to her kingdom. She rolled up the scroll and placed it securely in her satchel, her mind racing with thoughts of the journey ahead. Before she could leave the chamber, a soft, melodic voice echoed through the air. "Well done, Princess Isabella. You have proven yourself worthy." Isabella turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows, a woman with long, flowing hair and eyes that sparkled like stars. She wore a gown that seemed to be woven from the night sky, and her presence radiated power and grace. "Who are you?" Isabella asked, her voice filled with awe. "I am Alicia, guardian of the ancient ruins," the woman replied, her voice like a gentle breeze. "I have watched over this place for centuries, awaiting the one who would unlock its secrets. You have shown great courage and wisdom, and you are destined to complete this quest." Isabella felt a surge of gratitude and determination. "Thank you, Alicia. Your guidance has been invaluable. I will not rest until the treasure is restored to Eldoria." Alicia nodded, her eyes filled with warmth. "The path ahead will not be easy, but you have the strength to see it through. Trust in yourself and the magic that flows through this land. The Enchanted Gerbera will continue to guide you." With those words, Alicia faded into the shadows, leaving Isabella alone in the moonlit chamber. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, the guardian's words echoing in her mind. The final leg of her journey lay before her, and she was ready to face whatever challenges awaited. As she left the ancient ruins, the Enchanted Gerbera's glow lit her path, its light a constant reminder of the magic that guided her. The forest seemed to part before her, its trees swaying gently in the night breeze. Isabella felt a deep connection to the land, a bond that strengthened with each step she took. The map led her through dense forests and over rolling hills, the landscape changing with each passing mile. Isabella moved with determination, her heart filled with the promise of discovery. The final destination was within reach, and she could feel the magic of Eldoria guiding her every step. At last, she arrived at a secluded glen, hidden deep within the heart of the forest. The air was thick with enchantment, and the ground beneath her feet seemed to pulse with energy. In the center of the glen stood a stone altar, its surface covered in runes that glowed with a soft golden light. Isabella approached the altar, her heart pounding with anticipation. The Enchanted Gerbera's light mingled with the glow of the runes, creating a dazzling display of magic. She placed her hands on the altar, feeling the ancient power coursing through her. With a sense of reverence, Isabella recited the incantation inscribed on the scroll. The air around her shimmered, and the ground trembled as the magic of Eldoria responded to her call. The altar began to shift, revealing a hidden chamber beneath. Inside the chamber, nestled among treasures of gold and jewels, was the ancient artifact that held the true power and wisdom of Eldoria. Isabella reached out and took the artifact, feeling its warmth and energy. The hidden treasure was finally within her grasp. With the Enchanted Gerbera's guidance and the magic of Eldoria at her side, Isabella had completed her quest. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had uncovered the secrets of her kingdom and would bring prosperity and wisdom to her people. As she prepared to return home, Isabella felt the presence of the guardians and the magic of the land surrounding her. The journey had been long and challenging, but she had proven herself worthy. With the hidden treasure in her hands and the Enchanted Gerbera's light guiding her way, she was ready to restore Eldoria to its former glory. The hidden chamber within the altar glowed with an ethereal light as Isabella stood, the ancient artifact cradled in her hands. It was a delicate orb, seemingly made of glass but pulsating with a warm, golden light. Intricate patterns swirled within it, telling tales of forgotten times and ancient magic. She could feel the immense power radiating from it, and a sense of reverence filled her heart. Isabella carefully placed the orb into her satchel, ensuring it was secure. The Enchanted Gerbera's light continued to guide her, illuminating the path back to the entrance of the glen. The forest seemed to hum with approval, its ancient trees whispering secrets and blessings as she passed. The journey back to Eldoria was filled with a new sense of purpose, each step bringing her closer to fulfilling her destiny. As she walked, the Enchanted Gerbera's visions replayed in her mind. The map, the clues, the guardians. Every piece of the puzzle had led her to this moment, and now she held the key to Eldoria's future. The forest around her seemed to pulse with energy, the magic of the land resonating with her own. She felt an unbreakable bond with Eldoria, as if the very essence of the kingdom flowed through her veins. Isabella's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of rushing water. She emerged from the dense forest to find herself standing before a majestic waterfall, its cascades glistening in the midday sun. The sight was breathtaking, and she felt a pull toward the pool at its base. She approached the water's edge, drawn by an inexplicable force. Kneeling beside the pool, Isabella held the Enchanted Gerbera over the water. The flower's light mingled with the reflection of the sun, creating a dazzling display of colors. As she gazed into the water, the surface began to ripple, forming images that revealed the true nature of the treasure she had discovered. The orb she carried was not merely a treasure of gold or jewels. It was the heart of Eldoria, an ancient relic imbued with the wisdom and power of her ancestors. It held the knowledge of ages past and the ability to heal and protect the kingdom. Isabella understood that this artifact was the key to restoring prosperity and harmony to Eldoria. The visions in the water showed her the past, when the heart of Eldoria was last used. The kingdom had flourished under its influence, the land rich and fertile, the people happy and prosperous. But over time, the artifact had been forgotten, its power fading as it lay hidden away. Now, with Isabella's discovery, the heart of Eldoria could once again bring its magic to the kingdom. Filled with newfound understanding, Isabella rose from the pool and continued her journey. The path led her out of the forest and into the rolling hills that surrounded Eldoria. The landscape was familiar, yet she saw it with new eyes, recognizing the magic that infused every blade of grass, every tree, and every stream. As she neared the castle, Isabella's heart swelled with anticipation. The gates of Eldoria stood open, and she was greeted by the sight of her people, their faces filled with hope and curiosity. Sir Cedric was there, his eyes bright with pride and relief. She knew that her journey had been long and arduous, but the end was in sight. "Princess Isabella," Sir Cedric said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have returned." Isabella smiled, her heart brimming with joy. "Yes, Sir Cedric, and I bring with me the heart of Eldoria, the key to our kingdom's future." A murmur of excitement rippled through the crowd as Isabella revealed the glowing orb. The people of Eldoria gazed in awe at the artifact, its light reflecting in their eyes. She felt the weight of her responsibility, but also the immense honor of being the one to restore this ancient magic to her kingdom. With Sir Cedric by her side, Isabella made her way to the castle's central courtyard. The Enchanted Gerbera continued to glow, its light a constant reminder of the magic that had guided her. The heart of Eldoria pulsed with a warm golden light, filling the courtyard with a sense of peace and hope. Isabella approached the stone pedestal in the center of the courtyard, the same one where her ancestors had once placed the heart of Eldoria. She held the orb high, allowing its light to wash over the gathered crowd. The air was filled with anticipation, the magic of the moment palpable. "People of Eldoria," Isabella called out, her voice clear and strong. "Today, we restore the heart of Eldoria to its rightful place. With its power and wisdom, our kingdom will once again flourish. Let us embrace this ancient magic and work together to create a future of prosperity and harmony." With those words, Isabella placed the heart of Eldoria on the pedestal. The orb's light intensified, spreading out in a wave of golden energy that washed over the crowd. The ground beneath their feet seemed to hum with power, and the air was filled with a sense of renewal and hope. As the magic of the heart of Eldoria took hold, Isabella felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had completed her quest, and the future of her kingdom was bright. The Enchanted Gerbera's visions had guided her true, and she knew that Eldoria would prosper under the influence of the ancient magic. With the heart of Eldoria restored, and the people united in hope and determination, Isabella felt a deep sense of peace. The journey had been long and challenging, but she had proven herself worthy. Eldoria would flourish, and its ancient magic would continue to guide and protect the kingdom for generations to come. The golden light of the heart of Eldoria washed over the kingdom, infusing everything it touched with a renewed sense of vitality and peace. The people of Eldoria, their faces illuminated with wonder, began to cheer, their voices rising in a harmonious chorus that echoed through the castle and beyond. Isabella stood before them, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. As the magic settled into the land, Isabella turned to Sir Cedric, who had remained steadfastly by her side throughout her journey. His eyes were bright with unshed tears, his expression one of deep admiration. "You have done it, Princess," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Eldoria will thrive once more, thanks to your courage and determination." Isabella smiled, her gaze sweeping over the assembled crowd. "We have all played a part in this, Sir Cedric. The heart of Eldoria belongs to us all, and together we will ensure its magic endures." The days that followed were filled with celebration and renewal. The heart of Eldoria, now restored to its rightful place, began to work its magic on the land. The fields, once barren, blossomed with vibrant crops. Rivers flowed with crystal-clear water, and the forests teemed with life. The people too felt the change, their hearts lifted by the ancient magic that now flowed through their kingdom. Isabella spent her days among her people, visiting villages and towns, sharing in their joy and marveling at the transformation. The Enchanted Gerbera, still glowing softly, was a constant companion, its magic a reminder of the journey she had undertaken.